Hello Aries and Aries rising. Welcome to your horoscope for the full lunar eclipse in Scorpio happening on the 15th of May if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, or the 16th of May if you're in the Southern Hemisphere with me. Now this is that moment that we'll start to feel the shedding that we talked about 2 weeks ago with the solar eclipse in Taurus. Eclipses bring about a redirection of our karmic path. By karmic path, I mean where our soul is directed in order to reap the most benefit from this time on Earth. Scorpio rules your 8th house. The 8th house is complex. It's as deep and interesting as a Scorpio energy. When we think about maybe the taboo side of life, when we think about things that maybe aren't discussed in polite company, that could be sex and death and taxes and the way that we are indebted to other people or our souls are bound to others. That could be inheritance, that could be a rental contract. There are many different ways that the 8th house can show up in our lives. Now, I want to talk you through it in terms of planets and in terms of the tarot too. There are each tarot card represents a certain point in the zodiac. So I'll walk you through them one at a time. The moon is at 25 degrees in Scorpio. This is where the eclipse will be happening. And the tarot card that correlates with that degree is the 7 of Cups. This is illusionary success. This is the possibility of emotional fulfillment rather than the actuality. This is the moment where we have many options, 7 in fact, to choose from, but it's all concept right now. Nothing has materialized in the physical world for us to continue to work on or to even really feel with our heart, with our water. It's conceptual and it can be frustrating, particularly for an Aries, I think, because you are so gung-ho and wanting to move ahead and get things actioned. So to have the eclipse here in the 8th, let's talk about that. Is there relationships that you feel bound to? Are there possibilities that haven't come up or that you can't see in front of you that are starting to slip away? Is there a beautiful physical sexual relationship that is rapidly disintegrating into a concept rather than an experience? Are you bound to somebody? Is there a soul contract that needs to be broken? That's a really interesting one to think of, and I think that that's probably something that we can really work with here. As I said that, there was a whole bunch of images that came in front of me. The 8th house is about soul contracts. It is about how we are indebted in some way to somebody else. Maybe not indebted, but we're bound to them in some way. We can't shift that energy. Considering things from that vantage point, this eclipse could be a really beautiful moment to release some of those bonds. Now, on the polar opposite side of the zodiac, at 25 degrees in Taurus, we have the sun, which shines its light on the moon to create this eclipse. 25 degrees of Taurus is represented by the 7 of Pentacles, which is kind of an opposite energy too. The 7 of Pentacles talks about success unfulfilled. It talks about that moment where you have laid everything bare, you've tilled the soil, you've planted the seeds, you've planned, you've executed, and you're waiting. You're waiting for something to grow. This could be a life's work. This could be a lifestyle. This could be something that you have been actively trying to generate for some time now, and you really just can't see the results, or the results have dissipated. They're starting to brown. They're starting to not work out in the way that you thought that they would. With that feeling comes frustration and comes annoyance, almost like you want to set a match to it. I say that because you're an Aries. I'm going to use a lot of fire imagery. And Taurus is in your 2nd house of your talents, of your abilities, of your access to material wealth, how you can turn a coin, how you can provide for yourself. So think about that. Think about the relationship between how you provide for yourself and how your soul is bound to others. And maybe look forward to a shift that might happen there. Now, the conflicting, competing energy in the T-square with Saturn at 25 degrees in Aquarius. Saturn, if you visualize it, remember what the planet looks like. With the rings, Saturn is the planet of restriction, of being bound. In a low vibration, it can be oppression. It can be that feeling of being gagged. In a high vibration, it can be the rule book, the manual, the way that we learn to build, something that Aries aren't particularly interested in at times. Now, Aquarius is your 11th house, which is community. It's your perception of humanity in a greater whole. It's good fortune as well, so it's kind of your humanitarian side, how you find the patterns that will work and aid the greater good of everyone. To have restrictions here might be lessening the impact or trying to lessen the impact of this ecliptical change between your 2nd and 8th house. The tarot card that correlates with 25 degrees of Aquarius, where Saturn is the 7 of Swords. Now this is the card of the thief. It's what is being left out, what truth hasn't been put forward, what are we concealing in order to move ahead or move forward or gain traction. This could work either as a sense that you're getting that somebody isn't telling the truth in your community. This could be you not telling the truth to your community. This could be what are you leaving out of your story to save face or to project an image. These three energies kind of work in harmony with an eclipse to really push along that purge. So those three tarot cards, the 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Cups, and 7 of Swords, are the cards that are representing what's exactly happening in the sky right now, in a more general sense. I've also pulled you 3 cards just for Aries. This will help me explain how we can shape this information into some advice for what you might experience and how you can best work with it. So for your private Aries spread, I got the Queen of Swords, I got the King of Wands, and I got the 6 of Pentacles. So I really am getting a sense that this has got something to do with how you are bound to some other energy, some soul contract. The 6 of Pentacles is the card of charity. It's the card of being able enough in your resources to provide for others, to give and to move the wealth around. And also the card of being open and receptive to receiving that gift from other people and being grateful for it. The Queen of Swords might represent somebody in your community. Think about who it is in your life at the moment, what energy is consistently telling you the truth about your experience, and it's an undeniable truth too. The Queen is a noble energy. There's no deception here, which is a nice counterbalance with the deceptive, sneaky sort of qualities of the 7 of Swords. Who is it that will tell you the truth at all costs, sometimes even if it's difficult to hear? Because I want you to think about them, and I want you to think about how they amp you up to get you into the King of Wands energy. I see you as the King of Wands in this reading. I see you as capable and passionate and majestic and beautifully charming and gorgeous and sexy and attractive, and in a position where you can move a group and project manage and get things happening. This is where we want you to be. We want you to sort of move away from this 6 of Pentacles energy. You kind of, we all need a little help from our friends when we're down. I sense that you're not down at the moment, Aries. I sense that this eclipse is going to bring about some really good redirection as far as how you can materialize and how you can provide for yourself, how you can embody the King of Wands. I want you to be the King of Wands. So does Queenie. The Queen of Swords wants the same for you. She's got that sort of truth. And in this spread that I'm looking at, she's reading you the right act in a lot of ways. So think about that and probably use that energy to your benefit. Let these lessons in, let this sort of truth permeate your experience and allow that to then give you the confidence to face this eclipse. This is really good stuff, and as we know, this access is going to continue until July 2023. So everything that sort of crops up for you around this solar eclipse from 2 weeks ago, and that's sort of starting to purge now-ish with the lunar eclipse in Scorpio, this is all a setup. This is all like dominoes. We'll see things fall and change and move through over the next at least 12 months, 12 and a couple months, 14 months, whatever it is. I'm not very good with maths. But this is the very beginning. So really enjoy it, Aries. I think as difficult as some of this might be, as the bonds that we unpick and the way that we are bound to other souls' energy or other people's generosity, other people's coin, allow some of that to melt away. Because the next cycle for you, I see you as the king, and they're beautiful. The king is a beautiful energy. Who wouldn't want to be the king? Long live the king. All right, I'm going to leave this one here, Aries. If you wanted a private tarot reading, I do offer them on my website. So head over to umaruby.com. Also, if you wanted me to have a look at your natal chart, I'd be more than willing. I do offer birth chart readings, which you can find the link and information on the offerings page of my website. All the very best. I'm sending you all my love for this full moon and this epic lunar eclipse. You've really got this. I really feel a real confidence in speaking with you, Aries. So really go with it and follow your instinct and those truths that are being kept either from you or that you're keeping. This Queen of Swords energy is really going to help you out. So listen to the Queen of Swords, whoever that might be for you in your life. Think about someone who's nurturing, but also won't let you get away with any shit. Much love to you, and I'll speak to you in 2 weeks, and we can start to examine and manifest for the new moon in Gemini, which will be your communication house, which will be really great. Let's start talking. All the best. Love you, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.